It's hard to imagine that one former soldier turned boxer is feeling remotely nervous about his first professional fight next month. John Loveday was shot at on a daily basis during his 6 months in Afghanistan in 2009, a particularly gruelling tour for 2 rifles in which 14 soldiers were killed and more than 200 injured. So how do you make the move from theatre to the boxing ring? John Loveday, welcome. Just how helpful is it being in theatre, preparing you for being a professional boxer?
I think just the army itself in general, the transferable skills that it gives me, not just from military life to civilian life, but obviously into the ring as well, is great. You know, there's everything there, the training, the fitness. Fitness has always been a part of my life within the military, and for that to come over from that into my boxing, it's sort of everything sort of helps really, to be fair. And
of course, in your previous job, you had to have your wits about you. Same for the boxing ring.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, everything's great, and to be able to sort of take everything that I've learned from the military, not just sort of combat experience, but life skills itself and everything else that comes with it, and transfer it over is obviously always going to be a great help for me.
I mentioned how gruelling that tour of Afghanistan was with 2 rifles, and you lost your best mate, didn't you, Jay Horn?
Yeah, Jay was caught up in a blast along with a few other lads, and I found out about that when I was on R&R, and it was a big blow to me. But to be fair, it's the harsh realities of war, and you know, you have to sort of dig in and get on for the rest of the guys around you as well, you know, and Jay will always be in my heart, and he'll always be there, you know. And I think now my way of giving back to that sort of thing is obviously the charities that are sort of revolved around the army. I'll give a certain percentage of my fight money now to Help for Heroes, and also Care for Casualties, the Rifles charity and things like that. So anything I can do sort of to give back and help out is what I'll do.
And so how did the actual boxing contract come about?
I returned from the army when I got out, and I'd started training in a local gym, and there's another pro lad there, and sort of noticed me and said, "Oh, I could come down to the gym and sort of have a move around." And I went down and met my name manager, Errol Johnson, and he spoke to Frank, and Frank Warren knew about me from the amateur days, and also when I turned pro previously, and just signed me straight away, and I got a 3-year contract, which was brilliant.
When you were in the army, you didn't actually go to the top levels in boxing, did you? Why was that?
I think I was focusing more on my military career. I joined the army at 16, and at that point before that, I'd represented England.
So you basically focus on one thing and say, I'll go for that and make a success of that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I'd already represented England beforehand and been to like the likes of
Junior Olympics.
Yeah,
you got silver.
Yeah, definitely. So I thought at that point there, you know, I'd achieved a fair amount within boxing. So I thought, you know, it's a new thing I'm starting now. I'll focus on my military career and sort of try and get to the top of that if I can.
So one very nice thing about this fight you're going to have is that one of your former colleagues is going to be there in the audience, someone who's very badly injured when you're on tour with him.
Yeah, Jack's going to be there. Jack Otter, he was caught up in the same ID blast as me where I was injured, and unfortunately lost both his legs and his arm. But he's going to be sitting ringside, and that's thanks to...
Must be nice to have that kind of support.
Yeah,
from
definitely.
Your old mates.
All the guys from the army, I've got a lot of people coming ringside, you know, and all the support from the people that are, you know, in the army is just brilliant to know that, you know, they're still there and supporting me is just great. So.
Tell me about your opponent.
Howard Daly, his name is. He's had 24 fights, and he's a police officer from Preston. Quite a lively journeyman, but I've seen videos of him fighting, you know, obviously. 24
fights. You told me earlier that he'd lost 22 of them, so you're not too worried.
Not too worried, no. Hopefully it'll be quite an easy night for me, so I just look forward to putting on a brilliant show for
So what do you get more nervous about, going into battle or going into the boxing ring?
Funnily enough, going into the ring, I get more nervous.
Right, why is that?
I'm not sure. The nerves that I get before on my way into the ring is just, I feel sick and all sorts. And then I get into the ring, once the bell goes, I'm fine, I'm good to go.
And briefly, I understand when you have that bout, you're going to be giving some tickets for troops as well.
Yeah, 50 tickets, courtesy of Frank Warren as a patron.
Good stuff. So. Well done. Thank you very much, John.
Thank
Good
you.
luck for it.
Cheers,
we'll follow your career with interest.
Yeah, definitely.